Show.
Huh? What?
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning into the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No! I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Like being part of our program, we appreciate it. Here we are together again on the radio. It's you, it's me. And in this hour, I want to talk about something I've referenced on the year before, but now I want to get more specific about it. And that is, years ago, before the era of PDAs, Palm Pilots, Handsprings, Blackberries, Microsoft Outlook, Outlook Express, Lotus Organizer, and all the other things we have nowadays to collect data. Years ago, when my dad was a kid, they used to call it the Little Black Book. One time I got divorced, somebody got me a Little Black Book as a gift, saying I was going to be needing that. And the Little Black Book is the book of numbers, frequently booty calls, and other people you might want to delve into, like confections. And sometimes it's a Little Black Book. Sometimes it is a database in your computer. All right? You got your Palm Pilot. You got your Outlook. You got your Netscape. Not many people use Netscape anymore, but there it is. I've seen it in people's computers. Other various database programs, Microsoft Excel, whatever. And people are very sophisticated nowadays about their sexual past, their sexual conquests, the people they're hot for. The phone numbers people collect. You know, it used to be someone wrote a phone number on a cocktail napkin, and you'd fold it up, put it in your pants pocket, where your girlfriend would find it 3 weeks later. And that was pretty much the sophistication of this stuff. Nowadays, people have these huge databases. Home, work, pager, cell, fax, pager 2, mobile 2, home 2, home 3, home 4. Number after number. Hotmail address, Juno address, AOL address, work address, all email addresses. Your home address, your physical work address. And people now save this stuff, and then you can search it by keywords, and you can search it by. At one time, I must say that I actually used to rate chicks. Kind of like Morningstar rates mutual funds. I would rate chicks. Just in case I couldn't remember them all that well, I'd just give them a rating. And then literally with these database programs, what you can do is you can list people according to alphabetical order or according to the city they live in. Or you could, if you had a rating system of 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, you could actually put the 10s at the top and start dialing until you work your way down to somebody who you can get to do what you want them to do. All that information is there. Now, this is great if you're single and banging around, and nobody's bigger on this than I am when I've been banging around. Nobody. I love having that information available. But there's a whole other issue here to talk about, and that is what happens when you hook up with somebody and, that's your relationship. Do you ever get rid of those phone numbers, addresses, email addresses? do you save them? Now, I've been in this situation more than once. You know, you talk to, in my case, I would talk to a chick and I would say, who's this? Who's this? Who's this? And I would find out ultimately that these were guys that she had either banged or thought about banging or dated or thought about dating, or guys who she was going to call when she met me. Or so there's that list of names and phone numbers. How many of you have had this argument, like you said to the other person, what are you keeping those numbers for? And they always have some lame excuse. It's always something like, well, just in case I need to get in touch with this person, or, well, that person's just a friend. When the reality is, this person was a friend who your girlfriend saw naked at one time. This is a friend who penetrated her. That's the kind of friend it is. The kind of guy who will never call unless he thinks he has a chance of penetrating her again. These numbers are there for a reason, and it is never the reason people say. They will always tell you, oh, I forgot to delete that, or, oh, yes, I have those just in case I need them, like they're business contacts or something. The reality is, people who are obsessed with keeping that stuff are keeping their options open. To me, this is a sign that the person you're with isn't sure that your relationship is going to work. They're not sure. They want to have that escape hatch in case things don't work out with you. Of course they say homina, homina, homina when you say, what are these phone numbers for? And of course they come up with some lame explanation. Well, I just have the number of everybody I've ever talked to. That's why it's in there. I mean, I just keep everybody's number. That is a friend of mine. I just keep all my friends. When we broke up, we said we would be friends, and we were friends. Yeah. Like any of those guys want to be your girlfriend's friend when they know that you're the one putting it to her. And that they don't have a chance of putting it to her. Please. The only way these guys would want to get a call from your girlfriend is if they think there's some way, maybe by pretending to listen to their problems with you or whatever, that they can get right back in again. That's the only reason these numbers are maintained. That's the only reason to keep them. And can I tell you something? I kept phone numbers. Are you kidding me? I mean, I not only kept phone numbers of women I banged, women I was on the verge of banging, women I had dated seriously. I also kept phone numbers of women who I hadn't banged yet. Women who I hadn't yet gotten in their panties. I was like, this is close. Yep, saved it. The idea of saving those phone numbers is in case things don't work out with your current squeeze. That's the reason. There is no other possible reason. The one and only way to show that you absolutely, positively want to be in a relationship with somebody and that you intend for it to work and that you think it's forever, the one and only way to do that is to get rid of all those phone numbers and addresses. Get rid of them. Because if you don't, there's no doubt why you're keeping them. There's no doubt that that person has 1 foot in your relationship and 1 foot out. What possible good reason could there be to hold on to that information? There is no other good reason to do it. By the way, keeping them there in the background in case things don't work out, maybe that's a good reason to keep them. But no one ever tells you that's the reason they're keeping them. They always make up some stupid excuse that is never the reason. And anytime somebody gets defensive about that stuff and starts making a big deal about it, I get very nervous. I do. Call me kooky. But I just don't see. If somebody is with you for good, Of course, no one's ever with me for good, it seems, but if somebody's with you for good, why do they need the phone numbers of every other guy they ever knew if you're a guy? She's a girl. And by the way, girls, I would say the same thing about guys. What do guys need those phone numbers for? The hell, especially guys. Why do guys need phone numbers of chicks they once dated? What for? In case I'm ever doing another term paper and I need a study partner. Come on! What do you need those numbers for? Why can't you go into that database tonight and go delete, 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 delete? In fact, I challenge you, if you're with somebody who has phone numbers of exes in the database, tell them you want them to delete those numbers tonight and see if they'll do it. And if they don't, there's a reason they won't. Right?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Now, how old were you when she got knocked up?
I was 23.
You were 23. Hadn't you ever heard of condoms?
Yes.
Why weren't you using one?
Because I was a dumb
Yeah, well, truer words were never spoken.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Oh, you're tuning in. All right. What are you doing with those old phone numbers? Why do people keep them? Kathy, on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, this is Kathy in Owings Mills.
Yeah, I just said that you were Kathy.
I'm on my cell phone, so I might not have a very good reception.
Uh-huh.
My husband and I have been married now for 3 years and have a son, but when we first got together, he was hanging on to wedding pictures of him and his ex-wife.
Why don't you turn the radio off over there, Kathy, because it's confusing all of us.
Okay. It's all.
Good. All right, Kathy, go ahead.
And I threw fit after fit after fit. We weren't married yet, and then he wouldn't do anything. He kept holding on to the stuff, and then I guess it was probably 3 weeks after we continued to have explosions, I came home from work, and he had thrown all of the ex-wife photos and wedding videos and family things away. But I just think it took him a little bit to part with those memories.
Oh.
Even though he was going to marry me, he just wouldn't get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
What about phone numbers?
Oh, no. We didn't have any phone numbers. We just had wedding pictures and things like that, and, you know, like all the different stuff from the wedding and the marriage that he wouldn't let go of.
I see.
Yeah.
And did he say why? Because you could argue. You know what? Pictures of you with all your exes would creep me out. I don't like that.
Oh, I freaked out.
One could say, oh, well, you know, it's just part of my life. I don't want to erase my life. It still creeps me out, and I still don't like it. But at least you could make that argument. As far as phone numbers are concerned, there's nothing nostalgic or sentimental about a phone number. It's data.
Oh, I agree with you.
Why would anybody keep that? Makes no sense to me at all. Sean on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how they hanging?
Hanging right, Sean.
I like it. Say, back when I was a nice guy, I'd ask my girlfriend about these first emails, and, you know, she'd tell me they're just friends and so forth and so on, and I'd just go along with it. And then one night, come home from work, and there's a friend of hers running around in the underwear in my apartment.
Uh-huh.
What do you know? A little bit more than friends. So then I learned a little bit from that. Now I'm married, and the wife was emailing a past boyfriend, and I said, hell no. If that's going to go on, I'm just going to leave. I mean, I just put my foot down on that. This ain't going to happen anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And
so what happened? Did she stop doing it, or did she just go underground?
No. Well, I guess I don't know if she's underground or not.
See, you don't even know.
I guess you got me there. As far as I know, she's done talking to him.
Right.
I guess.
Well, have you ever, thought about trying to catch her?
No, because I guess I just didn't, I guess I figured I put my foot down, she was going to respect it.
Mm-hmm.
There I go thinking again.
Oh, Sean. Here, let me give you an example of something you could do, okay?
All right.
You could say, well, you don't do anything. Do you have the guy's email address that she was emailing?
Might be on the computer, I guess.
All right. So let's say his name was, let's say his email address was joeblow@AOL.com.
All
right. So what you do is you start an account on like Juno or Yahoo or Hotmail, and you call it joeblow@hotmail.com. joeblow@juno.com. Then you send her an email and you say, I'm getting rid of AOL. Here's my new address. And see if she responds.
I see. Setting the old trap.
You're setting the old trap. Now, if she tells you she's not writing to him, you're going to find out really quickly whether she's writing to him or not.
That's beautiful.
See, and then you can take the appropriate action.
No, I'll do that. I'll check it out. I don't think she's doing it anymore, but...
How do you know?
I'll try that out. No, for sure.
I mean, where is she now?
Well, she's at home right now.
Uh-huh. Doing what?
I hope taking care of dinner.
Uh-huh. All right, so dinner's in the oven, and she's got a little time to kill. Is she twiddling her thumbs?
Yeah, she does spend a lot of time on the computer. But
She watching ESPN?
No, not ESPN. Maybe the Food Network.
Okay. Or maybe she's on some other kind of network.
I'll go check that out tonight, I guess.
All right,
thanks, Al.
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hello here. You know what? I want to get Kristen on the air, but I don't want her to get short shrift. So I'll make her the first call after the break to you. That's a good call, and I don't want to lose it. Not to say the other calls aren't good, but that one is particularly somebody I want to talk to. Woo! Marcus on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, what's happening?
Not much, Marcus.
Tom, I just don't get it. Why would you throw away the black book? Why would you get rid of it? It's a girlfriend. It's not a wife. It's not a lifelong commitment.
All right, so when do you get rid of it?
When you say, look, baby, I'm going to marry you. You're going to be mine for the rest of our lives.
What if you're living together?
No, absolutely not.
So if you're living with somebody, you are keeping your options open. And do you tell?
I'm keeping my options open until it's time to do the marriage.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I do believe that's what people are doing, especially women and also men.
It's got to be, Tom. I mean, what kind of fool would throw away the book? I don't get it.
Well, then why do people lie about it? You know, they never ever say, hey, until I have a ring on my finger, I'm not getting rid of these numbers. They don't say that. They always go, I just had it in my database. Oh, I just had it in my book. I forgot to cross it out. I forgot to tear it out. They never say, hey, look, you're not married to me, and maybe you'll never marry me, and therefore I'm keeping my options open. Why do people always lie about this?
People don't want to hear the truth, Tom. That's it. They don't want to hear the truth.
Ah, okay. I know what the truth is. People don't want to tell the truth. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. All right, we'll come back with Kristen. And Kristen and I are going to have a very interesting conversation because she has the phone numbers of all her exes. Coming up.
This is the Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles at 1-800-5800-TOM. All right, let's talk to Kristen. Kristen, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Kristen.
Very excited to talk to you. This is the first time I'm calling.
Totally cool.
My husband and I are big fans of yours.
Excellent.
So, yeah, I have all the numbers of all my ex-boyfriends. I still keep in touch with them.
What for?
They're friends.
Come on. What kind of friendship is that?
Together doesn't mean I can't have friends with them.
But come on. You know what, though? Are they married or anything?
Yeah, well, almost all of them are, actually.
And what do their wives think of this?
Well, the wives aren't very crazy about it, but...
Well, what's the point of doing that? To destabilize their relationships?
Do they what?
Why would they destabilize their marriages, their relationships? Why? And why would you participate in that?
Well, see, I guess it's a trust issue if they don't trust their other half.
But come on. You know, the only reason these guys ever spoke to you was because they wanted to see you naked.
Nah.
Come on.
Nah.
Please. Yeah, you know what? How does your husband, you're married? No?
Yes, I am.
How does your husband think about this, really? He may be saying it's okay, but is he really okay with it?
Yeah. He's really okay with it.
Uh-huh. And
I have guy friends that I go out with.
you know, you go out with them, too. What, do you go out dancing and stuff?
Yeah.
Dancing. Now, you know the average straight man hates dancing. You know why these guys are dancing with you. Do you know that any one of these men would have sex with you tonight?
You're probably right, but I wouldn't have sex with them.
But then the whole relationship is based on a false premise.
Nah.
I'm going to give you the comparison I always give, okay?
Okay.
Let's switch it from vaginas for a second. Let's say you won the California State Lottery, one of those weeks when it's like $84 million.
Okay.
Right? Now, let's say that suddenly everybody you ever went to school with who hasn't called you in, 15 years, they start calling you up on the phone. Hey, Kristen, we ought to get together. I haven't seen you in so long. Would you say those are your friends?
No.
Why not?
Here's the thing. When I was in high school, I had a very small, close-knit group of friends. Anybody else outside of that circle, I would say F you.
That's not my point. My point is, if you won $84 million in the California lottery and people started calling you up, you would never believe that those people are your friends because all they want is your money.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, these guys, you just admitted, would all have sex with you tonight.
You're right.
Which means
Absolutely.
they are your friend because they're still hoping one day to get another shot at your vagina.
That's fine, but
why? But then it's based on that same false premise. Had you ever told them you will never, ever, 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 ever have sex with them ever again under any circumstances, no matter what? Not even if your husband dies, not even if there's nuclear winter, you will never.
Not even if they had a penis of gold.
Uh-huh. I see. And
I love my husband very much. And he trusts me.
You know what, though? I tell you what, this is not even a matter of trust. You know what? If you got time to dance with your friends, you got time to be with me. That's time you should be spending with me.
I would love to meet you.
If it were me, well, I'll tell you what, if it were me, you go out dancing, the locks will be changed by the time you get home at 3 a.m.
Nah.
Oh, no, but trust me when I tell you. If you're out dancing with other guys, you might as well stay out and go to a dance marathon because you're not coming home.
I always come home.
No, you're going to be sleeping on the front porch.
No.
You're not coming in.
I always come home.
By the way, what kind of dancing do you do, Kristen?
Just like everybody else dances.
So, in other words, guys touch your ass, they touch you all over, because that's what dancing is all about.
I don't let them touch me all over.
Uh-huh. Where do they touch you?
On the sides, the hips, the back.
Uh-huh.
Anything other than that.
And you love that. You love it.
Oh, I love attention. Hell yeah, I'm an attention whore.
Why are you out with these guys and not your husband?
My husband doesn't like to go out dancing.
Most men don't like going out dancing. That should make you suspicious right there. When a man is out there and he's a heterosexual and he's out there dancing with you, it's not because he likes dancing. Don't you know that?
I don't care. I'm having fun.
I see. So there you go. There it is. Brooke, what do you want to say to Kristen about this?
Well, hey, I wanted to know, what if the roles were reversed? I mean, does he still have all his ex's numbers? And if it was, same scenario, but different, your husband's doing what you're doing.
I would love for him to go out and do that. Absolutely.
With ex-girlfriends and touch their asses? Great.
I would love for him to go out with other women and have fun and dance and do things with them that I don't like to do. Granted, there's not a whole lot that I don't like to do, but...
How long have you been married?
3 years.
3 years. How old are you?
I'm 26. He's 40.
Oh, that's it.
There we go.
There we go. That's
there
right.
It is.
He doesn't care.
She married the one with the money and the career. The other guys, she goes out
I make more money than he does.
with.
I make more money than he does.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you know what? Whatever works for you, as long as you guys are happy. I think it's a little off the wall, but you know what? It's a free country, and more power to you.
Oh,
Thank
boy.
you.
All right, well, hang on a second, Kristen. Now, Michelle, what do you want to say to Kristen here?
First of all, it's not about love and all about the because you do not have friends when you're married. I had my friends growing up that were guys, and we were cool, and we were all close and everything, but when I got hooked up with my man and I fell in love, I respected my man. I knew that was not going to play with him. And no matter what, if we go on the street and I see these guys today, I'm going to say, what's up? But I'm not going to be all buddy-buddy with them. And heck, I'm going to go out dancing with them. You don't love your husband. It's all about the money and all about the...
No, I go out and I have my fun, but when I need my lovin', I come home.
But come on, don't these guys do a little more groping? Come on. You know, I once had a relationship, girls. I once had a relationship with a woman who said to me, "You're not going to like me going out dancing anymore, are you?" I said, "Well, what are you talking about?" "Well, you know, 'cause where I come from, you know, we dance and it's very sensuous and guys, you know, touch my ass and stuff." You're like, and what, you telling me you don't like, you know, I don't care what culture you're from. You don't go out without me and have men touching your ass. You know what? This is baloney that this is another culture. There's no culture where men like other men touching their girls' ass. There just isn't.
You say it, Tom. You preach it. I don't think so. I'm sorry. That it just does not play in my book. It don't play. If you really love your husband, you can do it. And the only reason your husband puts up with it is because, one, he's either pussy-whipped, or two, he don't know about it. Because you can't tell me, honestly, that your man is willing to put up with that. And if he is, put him on the phone, have him call Tom, and tell all of us that he's willing to put up with it.
Yeah, meow.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
I just pulled up to my house, and my husband's right here listening to you.
All right, I'll tell you what, we'll take a break, and we'll come back with your husband. You hang in there. We're going to find out a thing or two from him.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Hi, Kristen. Where's your husband?
Hey, Tom. He doesn't want...
He what?
He doesn't want to talk. He's shy.
He's shy. He's a pussy, and he knows what I'm going to say to him when you get him on the phone. He's a complete.
Right now so he can listen to what you're saying.
He is a complete pussy. He is totally pussy whipped, and he knows damn well what would happen if he got on this phone with me. He has no defense for allowing you to do that. None.
He's laughing.
Oh yeah, laugh it up there, pal. The other men are grabbing your wife's ass late at night when you're all by yourself. Wonderful. That's great. What's the point of being married, pal? Being married to somebody when your wife is out with other guys. What's the point? You could have just dated her, but no, you had to marry a woman who would rather go out and get her ass groped by a bunch of ex-lovers. Meow.
They don't grab my ass. I push their hands away.
Yeah, but they've done it. You have to push away, but they've already done. The damage is done.
No, the only damage is done is if I go home with them, and I don't do that.
Uh-huh. And not only that, after you've had a few drinkies, I'll bet that these guys do more than try to grab your ass. Maybe you've had to slap them or shove them away, but they've all tried.
No, I've never had to do that.
Come on.
No, honest to God, I've never had to do
If they're there trying to grab your ass, why wouldn't they be trying to, shove their tongue down your throat?
You would think, but no.
Come on.
Never happened.
I don't believe this for a minute. Hang on a second. Richard, what do you want to say to Kristen here?
Hey, Tom, what I got to say to Kristen's guy is he is pussified.
Oh, please.
What goes hand in hand with dancing and clubs and grabbing ass? Alcohol. And you know what happens when a guy buys a girl a few shots of Jaeger.
One thing led to another, and suddenly my panties were off.
Exactly. let me tell you, hey, Kristen's husband, if you're listening to me. I don't even know how it happened. Kristen's husband, if you're listening to me, those numbers in those in that phone book, those aren't friends. That's called insurance, baby. Insurance. When it doesn't work out, who do you think she's gonna be with when you guys are in an argument? Honey, I'm going for a drive. Yeah, sure, pal. We know where you are.
These guys are middle relievers. They're all warming up in the bullpen.
She's an attention whore. That's all it is.
And when Kristen's pussified husband doesn't get the job done, or they have a stupid argument or something, I guarantee you the call is going to go to the bullpen to bring in some relief.
That's right, Tom. You got it. It's called insurance, baby.
That's right.
Thanks, Tom.
Pretty soon you got Troy Percival in there, and they're playing Welcome to the Jungle.
Not.
All right, Ben Weber.
Ben Weber's a relief pitcher.
I know. That's what I said. But the point is, somebody's got to be the closer.
That's my husband.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Those guys at the club, they get me all hot and everything, but I come home when I need my lovin'.
Please. You have to go to the clubs to get hot because your husband isn't hot.
Nah.
If you have to go to the club to get hot, your husband isn't hot.
He's hot to me. He's hot for me.
He's hot to me. Even if everyone else thinks he's a 5, he's hot to me. And that's all that matters.
You're damn right, that's all that matters.
Homely, hideous, not nearly as good looking as my friends. They get me hot, and then I come home and I have sex with my husband. After my really hot friends get me hot.
How stupid do you think I am? Maybe your husband's stupid, but I'm not stupid.
Nah.
Every one of these men would F you tonight.
I know that, but I'm the one having fun.
No, well, they want to have fun, and they think they're getting. Well, by the way, what do they think of your husband?
Oh, they think he's a great guy.
They've never met him.
They've never met him.
A couple of them came to my wedding, but
why haven't they met your husband, if I may ask?
Well, I work with a couple of them, and then
so what?
Huh?
Don't you have Christmas parties or company picnics, or doesn't your husband ever meet you at the office?
A couple times.
Never met the guys who were grabbing your ass out at clubs late at night.
Oh, those
That's
club
great.
Guys. I meet those guys at the club.
Oh, you meet other guys at the clubs, too. By the way, like I have to ask the following question. How do you dress when you go out to clubs? You're wearing a business attire? You're wearing, of course, no cleavage, no nipples protruding or anything like that, right?
Well, there is cleavage because I'm quite a busty girl.
And
but other than that, I'm not. We don't do short skirts. Or short shorts.
But you don't dress sexy to go to a dance club?
No, I do not.
And so Dean says she must be fat, says Dean.
I am.
There we go. Dean, you're getting really good at this.
That's it. I wouldn't say I'm obese fat, but I'm not one of those squid girls who can wear midriff.
Oh, so where do you go, like Club Curves? Where do you go out?
You're right, I do go to Curves. Yeah, Tom, you're good. Been doing this a few years.
Oh, boy. Well, I've seen the kind of men that go there. The ones who are hiding their faces when the photographer tries to take a picture.
That's okay. That's okay.
Very nice.
I wouldn't say I'm obese, but I'm definitely not one of those girls that can wear those midriffs.
Nice. So your husband... Oh, and you told me you make more than your husband. That should have been a clue. I wasn't paying attention. Of course you make more than your husband. Of course you do. If you were attractive, you'd make less than your husband. That's the way it works. If you were really attractive, you wouldn't have a job.
Oh, is that the way it works?
That's how it works.
All right.
Come on. Anytime a woman calls in and says, I make more than my husband, you pretty much know everything you need to know.
Yeah, I would say.
Believe me, you were really hot. You'd have a man paying your bills.
Oh, I wish.
Well, you know what? It's called the treadmill. Introduce yourself to it sometime.
Thanks, Tom.
Anytime, dear.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Well, break it down for me.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
You have that same disease that most women have, okay? You have selective hearing.
I probably do. I like to hear what I want to hear.
I understand that.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. I'm a professional broadcaster. Can you tell? Oh, good. Continue our conversation here with Donald on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Professor.
Donald!
How are you doing, man?
I'm doing okay.
I have a legitimate reason to keep all those contacts and hide them if you have to for all of the one-on-one classmates out there.
About 6 years ago, an ex-girlfriend of mine called me up, said she had herpes and had them for a while and was calling all her ex-lovers, and I was
more
one of
than
them.
one herpes?
I guess there's, apparently. Anyways, so I did all the courtesy calls with all the exes, let them know, which was a hell of a phone bill.
I knew somebody once. You want to see how sick this is, okay? I knew somebody once who, let's just say, after everything that moved, good, bad, and ugly.
Ew.
And then later on, I don't know if he was watching some special on TV or read a website or something, he started calling up exes to find out if they were still alive, like to see if they'd gotten AIDS. He himself was too much of a chicken to have an AIDS test. He was calling up, hey, is Cindy there? She not home? Oh, no. You don't have to leave a message. But she'll be home tonight, right? Okay, great.